Through, but it was hard. It was hard, but got it. Oh, what's that come up?
Just saying we're being recorded.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
If you don't like being recorded, it gives you the option to say, I don't want to be recorded.
So it says continue or leave meeting. Shall I just click continue?
Yes, I would. Yes, please.
Well, you wouldn't let me in earlier, so I've got to get you back somehow.
Oh dear. You'd think we'd know what we were doing by now, wouldn't you?
Still trying. Chrissy's still having trouble getting in. Hang on.
Oh dear.
I think she's just messaged me.
Oh, we got two of Joyce now. Oh, here's Christine. Here she
I got
comes.
two Paulines as well.
Oh. Got blurred vision in double. I can only see one of everybody.
Yeah,
she's nearly in.
She's nearly in. Chris is trying.
I'm here.
She's nearly there.
Oh, she's here. You can't see you yet.
I'm in a field in Lower Manhattan.
Aren't you lucky?
Oh, here she is.
Hello.
Oh, you're not in.
Oh,
that's not a field. You're in your lounge.
I am indeed. Oh, I don't know what was happening then. I just couldn't get in at all.
No, I had trouble as well, Chris.
Oh, good. Not just me then.
Could be the internet.
We all did, I think.
Oh, yeah. No, it's just Zoom wasn't responding. That's all I got.
Dave was just blocking me, I think.
Oh, was that what it was? Oh, I see.
I wouldn't dare. I wouldn't dare. I don't think it. Terry's not coming because it's his wife's Marjorie. I think it's her birthday today.
Margaret.
I knew it had a Mar in it.
You're right.
I hope he's taking her out for lunch.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll do something.
Yeah.
He just do what he's told, like the rest of us blokes.
Has he sorted?
Gordon today?
Has he sorted his phone?
I don't know about that. He's going to ring me later today, so I'll have a chat with him about that. Well, fingers crossed.
No Annie Gordon today?
They're in a field in somewhere. They got no signal.
Oh, that's a shame. Yeah. No, I knew they were away, but yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Either that or they're having a secret lie-in and not telling us.
Yeah.
No, there's Gordon's probably going, fat chance. I went walking the dogs.
Probably. Probably. Oh, had some news last night with our charity. We got a really nice local guy. He's a retired carpenter, and he makes all sorts of wishing wells and all sorts of garden stuff and dog feed bowls and everything. And he been putting a load of stuff out on his front drive and selling it to raise money for the NHS. And some bar stewards stole a lot last night.
Oh no!
£250 worth. So.
Oh no!
Yes.
Be on Facebook Marketplace, I expect.
Yeah. Oh, it's all over Facebook and the Echo, and the police have been, and you know. So I'm thinking in a way you'll probably get a lot of response now with offers of more wood and donations. Yeah. I've just asked my sister because Tony, my brother-in-law, of course, he used to do a lot of woodwork, and she said, "Oh yeah," she said, "if he needs wood, I'm sure that I can find something here." So
there was a thing on my there was a thing on my Facebook. They'd saved up and bought this lovely camper van. Yeah, put it on their drive, and somebody sold it that night.
Oh no, I know you got a
terrible.
I've got so much security on my gates and on my caravan. It's ridiculous, but they'd have to get through my double gates and multi-locked. All the locks off the caravan and everything else.
It's better. That's why, I mean, it's ironic, isn't it? We years ago used to frown on hire purchase, but these days you're better off renting or hiring stuff, because when it nicks, you say, well, it ain't mine anyway. Just get a new one. I know, that's the beauty of having a Motability car like we get. It's brand spanking new on the drive. If someone takes it, well, or mucks about with it, it's Volkswagen you have to talk to, not me.
Yeah.
So we got a big company on our side.
Yeah.
Well, that's my. I was worried last night with that rain, because on new cars there's a thing called convenience, and if you press your I only discovered about it a couple of years ago. If you press the key to lock the car an extra couple of seconds, it'll either wind all the windows down or wind them back up.
Oh.
So there's been an occasion where I've gone out to lock the car, or I might have been in my room, and up here I can do it from the window and over press the key, and you let all the windows down.
Oh dear.
Didn't know that.
And then
We'll
in
have
the
to
night
try.
it pours with rain, and it's quite an exciting moment in the morning when you look, oh my, all the windows have gone down. It's really weird. You think, what? They do it on themselves at random, but they don't. So it's the heads up there. First thing I did when I looked out the window this morning, check the car. Because there's a thing in the setting that you have to turn it off, the convenience thing off. And being brand new, it hadn't occurred to me yet. Other than that, it's been a pretty groovy week.
Good.
Some of the pictures of that park were good, weren't they? Oh, you haven't seen them all. I have. Sorry. Hang on. This is Anne's one. Can you see that?
Yeah.
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 That's flipping loose for her, isn't it?
It is very.
That's nice.
As I was quite pleased with that, thinking she's done a good job there. Yeah. And there was unframed. This is Wellman's.
Oh,
It's great. They're great fun. Great fun. It's really the basis is all the same, and I think that the theme of Chrissy.
Well, that's nice.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I forgot to put the people in.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't put any people.
Yours looks so much different because you do them in.
Yeah.
Relax.
That's it. Slipped my mind for a minute. Yeah. Does make a difference, doesn't it? Looks more vibrant.
Yeah, it was good fun, that one.
Yeah. Down to the hard work again this week.
And Joyce's was amazing.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I've decided that's going to use that on my next album cover.
Oh.
do I get royalties?
Yeah. Do either. Well, if I do, you will.
All right.
Yeah. No, because we could zoom it, we could brighten it up a bit like that. Yeah, it's either an album cover or a book jacket. If you could find the story,
I enjoyed that one.
the story that relates to it, the two figures walking off like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that one. I love them all, but that was really clever. I did my one. I haven't taken a photo of it yet, but we had some fun with that. I'll show you in a minute.
Yes.
And I was thinking about it, and I thought what Carol just said then was the watercolors are what they are. They're not. They tend not to be in your face bright.
Yeah.
We say that, but acrylics are flat as well. They dry back flat compared to oils. But so anyway, I thought I took a leaf out of Terry's book. Are you listening, Terry? I can hear you saying that's my idea. I pinched that. I bought a little tube of white oil, water soluble oil. I thought I'd try it out and see if I can add some white oil to the what's the name, to my picture. Hang on, let me change thing and pin that. Can I do it from here? Pin that, yeah. Well, I'm going to do it anyway. It's in a minute. Yeah, so I could brighten the little rascals up, and it almost worked.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
I brightened them all up. Only problem is, look, if you touch it,
Oh,
that's
Oh.
that was 2 or 3 days ago. It's still flipping wet. It's oil paint, isn't it? So it ain't going nowhere. So there's another word of warning there. And so that was surprise. Yeah, I've got it on a sheet. The other thing I did, I cleaned my palette out.
Oh, you've got different colours this week.
I put all these new colours. That's the normal flesh one. Can't see it. That's flesh. Then I went. That one's June, as in sand. Amazing colour that is. That's cadmium lemon yellow. That's peach. That's mocha. That's rose. And these are the normal raw sienna. Don't know what colour that is now. I think it was supposed to be burnt umber. I'll have to take a dollop out of that a minute just to double check, because I sometimes put neutral black in there, which no, it's burnt umber. You need burnt umber, don't you, for the really dark bits. You don't need those colours. Well, I just thought because I've created this palette that is really, I'm saying tongue in cheek, it's me portrait palette. So I thought I'd invest in new colours, just try them out. But I mean, it's part of the plan, but you don't need them. I mean, there is, to make flesh, remember, all you need is a bit of yellow and add some hint of red to it, and you can get the tones that you want quite easily. So I'm just spoiling myself and being daft, really, but it's unusual for me. But you can, you can get those colours. I did it on a piece of paper, scrap paper yesterday. Those were the sort of tones that I was getting from the new paints, and then equally I'm still getting this. I can still achieve the same, and just adding more red, burnt umber, or whatever to that colour adds the depth that you want. But the rose is the nice colour. It's you can mix the rose and get those really subtle without being fierce red. I've seemed to be stuck on that, which is the way we work, isn't it? It just evolves all the time. The 1 minute it's this color range is in vogue. At the moment, I'm stuck with the St. Petersburg ones, which will cheer Carol up because we love them, and Pauline. I mean, I've stuck with them for a long time. The one, I still haven't finished working on the Cassius Clay one, but the thing about this whole using the gouache, the white, is to give you, if you take your brush in water and just damp it off, you can, even now, you can just subtly blend the colours in. This is where you become a makeup artist in a way. But no, I mean, you can vary. It's so subtle, but it does do it. And you can, if you take the brush, you get marvelous effects. Like his lip, bottom lip needs to be lightened up. I remember, if I recall. So I know I've got the color under there. Just by doing that, I can just slowly tease color off, and you can use the rigger as well. See what a difference that's made already, just touching it, which is why I keep saying I'm not sure if I'll ever finish them, because you can keep doing this for quite a while. And I have redone the background once, and I remember somebody shouting to me about his t-shirt, which I couldn't see on the thing, but I've painted that in as well. So there's still work to be done on it. The other example of that, if I can find it, I meant to talk about this last week and forgot, was, oh matey boy, come here mate, was George. This one I've still got quite a lot of well, I'm going to do it, softening down and playing with this. And sometimes you get these sort of, I can just by doing that, I can make his hair work, I can work on it and soften out, remove some veins, soften out some harsh areas. I'm quite proud of this picture, actually. I don't. It's
very good. Yeah.
I'm gonna soften it and work on it just like this, and tighten it up a little bit. But you don't want it too much. It's a portrait. It's not a photo, so you've got to be so careful. And just tighten it up, and then post it to George's daughter and say, "Gone but not forgotten." Today's exercise in the Fun Factory, I sent you some pictures. On my original, I don't know if I've got it now. Oh yeah,
Cowboy hat on.
Yeah,
That was the one I was really looking forward to doing, and then you changed it.
Well, no, I've changed it for myself, but if you want to do it, do it. I looked at it and I thought, well, I can't. Yeah, it's all right, but this one looks like he looks like me dad. He's a dead ringer from me dad. He's got the same nose, same sort of hair. I think Dad's got a little bit less, but as he's got older, he's sort of, yeah. Well, I can see me dad in him, so I'm thinking, but equally, I still stick with what I said, saying I like to paint them in the now. You couldn't go back in time and paint him. If Clint was around and you wanted to paint him, you'd have to do it as he is.
We didn't with Cassius Clay.
Well, he's a bit of a problem there. I'm not into skeletons. One thing I have done, I've got I did a couple of. First thing I did, I don't know about you, I can't tell what bloody colour people's eyes are. So I look in his eyes and I think, ooh, it's like a flipping lion. Wouldn't mess with him.
Mm.
They're quite piercing, dangerous eyes. They are. He's the Lone Ranger, isn't he? And the other thing I discovered, well, when we were doing the Queen, the thing that, and I'm still not 100% sure if I've cracked it, is the teeth. And you remember I was saying that I went on the Mal Gallery's portrait 2021 portrait exhibition, and hardly none. Hardly, I don't think I can't recall one painting in the best portrait Royal Institute of Portrait Painters that had teeth in it.
Oh.
Why? Because they're flipping. They're hard. Well, they can wreck the picture straight at them. Every one is. So what I've done, I actually spent quite a few minutes going over with pencil where I think the teeth are. Not the whites. I'm not worried about the white. I'm worried about the dark bits, the shadow bits, which are the painting in the negative, which bring out the teeth. So it looks a bit gruesome at the moment, like something out of
It's like
Sherlock,
muscular.
like a
Can we just do a
Victorian.
nice smile and leave the teeth out?
It's up to you, but I'm just
Right.
saying what I've been up to, because of what I learned from doing her Madge.
Mm.
But the rest of it, I think we should be okay. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I get really nervous doing portraits. It's that initial kick off, isn't it? And putting all the lines. I mean, you're not supposed. I know early on I was saying, well, we don't draw it, but the more as the weeks have gone by, I thought, I need to draw something. I need some lines to. Then I'm going to go and paint all over them anyway. You notice all these people. One thing I noticed doing portraits is people's ears are so weird. Man, look at his ear. Look at it. It looks like, well, I don't know what it is. It's not really an ear, is it? It's just a flap. Maybe it's fighting. You know, the boxers, they get all those cauliflower ears and that, don't they? Anyway, whatever. Are we bothered?
Cowboy days.
Cowboys' ears. So anyway, do we have a plan? Is there a direct route out of this thing? I think so. One thing I've done this time, I like to try different bits of paper, bits of tissue. I like to try different things. And this time I've painted the watercolor paper with a coat of white first before I did my sketch and that, and I stretched it and just put a layer of white on it. Don't know why. I just thought it might act as a nice, what's the word? A sort of a medium in the background that'll. Well, I just want to see if it aids the flow and the working of the paint as I go along.
I do that with acrylic all the time.
Yeah, well, that's the box.
I know, but
Yeah,
it'll probably blend better, won't it?
well, that's my hope. I think the first thing, if I can put some paint here, I could zoom out a bit. I think. Hang on. Is it this the zoom one? Yeah. Zoom back in a bit to there. At least you can see what I'm mucking about with paints. You can go up a bit, but it doesn't matter at this moment anyway. I'm so nervous. I don't know what to do. Right, first I've got in my palette there's a big blob of white in there anyway, but initially I think I still like that burnt sienna over that side. I still like that. Get rid of the white. Get rid of that white paper. It's horrible. This is a small brush, isn't it? Just, I don't care. I love that. It takes all the angst is gone now. I'm not so nervous. All I've got to do now is fix it. Think, oh. But yeah, anywhere, it doesn't matter. Just get rid of it. It takes the, now you're in charge or not. This palette's got a nice little hole in it, so you can hold it. And then I think I'm going to try with the flat brush, if I can, because they've got a bit of an edge on it, so you can, you know, tidy up. And I think mix up a load of burnt umber. I'm praying, well, and then we're going in and looking at, just taking our image and looking for shapes and forms. But I think initially I'm gonna have to put that up there for a minute. Just, I'm gonna do some of these outlines, otherwise they're gonna disappear. Don't know why. I said it the other week. Oh, I'm drawn to the round brush more than the problem is the printer. When you print things out, you end up with 4 or 5 different. If I don't paint them, mark them in, I'll lose them.
I just did a quick Google. Sorry, Dave.
Yeah.
Did a quick Google, and his eyes are listed as grey.
Yeah, they are. It's sort of a greeny grey, isn't it?
It's very strange.
Yeah,
different.
You took the took my thunder there, because I was going to do that yesterday, and I forgot all about it. Well, I didn't. I just couldn't be bothered. Well, no, because I zoomed in and printed it out, didn't I? Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Sounded rude. Unusual for. No, once I'd it's got those lines, and once I'd done that, I thought, it's a really thin line for a tuff there, and I'm gonna go in with some colour on there. Yeah, looks like me dad.
Lucky dad.
Well, my dad's got better teeth. I'll tell you that much. Well, he ain't got as many now, but bless him. I think, I don't know what to say. Whatever you do, it's going to be, it's a portrait, or is it? Probably end up being a nice, I'm just trying to think where. What you do is, what I can gather, what I can make of it all, the thing to do is look for darker areas, yeah? Anywhere you see some sort of shadowy tones, try and build it up. But if you, what you're looking for is sort of shapes. There's a shape of a dark shadow there, for instance. So I'm going to go. It's a bit lighter on the brush there now. Don't forget we got water, so we can add it in. I can see the advantage of doing it in oils because it doesn't dry, does it? So you'd be able to faff around and gingerly sort of put stuff in and take it off. That's why you use a towel in your hand. I'm just using a tissue, but and coming down to his neck. Where's the tie? Yeah, it's only a short area, isn't it? These brushes are good. Did you buy some, Carol?
Not those, no,
These evergreen ones? I thought,
no,
I thought you bought some.
no. I only bought the balloon. Is it
Oh, that's right.
the
Sorry.
rosemary balloon?
Yeah, they're great. The mop.
Mops, that's it, not balloon. Sorry.
So
I
all
thought
you, all
brush
you need. I hope, yeah, well, she's in the kitchen, isn't she? The hard bit is that it's always the nose, isn't it? Spend relatively short amount of time. This is all burnt siennas, so or just one colour for now. Trying to pick out some. He's got a light inside nose, isn't he? And there's a shadow area here. Just look for the shapes, Dave. Yeah, I am. I'm trying to find them. Okay. Such a. Gonna watch that there because there's a light. This just nick something off the side of the brush. The hair. It's got blue in it. I think it's had a blue rinse. Just going to write a boundary where that is. And I've drawn it, so I'm going to try and keep the lines if I can. Go up there and sit there for a minute, you rascal. He's got a lovely tie. I'll block that in. And the jacket for a minute. Now we finish with the. Oh, it goes right down, Dave. Oh, that's good. I tend to be quite fascinated watching videos of people painting portraits now. The it's a heads up for a few weeks' time. No, week after next. Is a portrait of a lady, and I watched. Just while I'm blocking this in, I watched. I can't remember his name now. Andrew Green, I think. I was watching him. Even the jacket has shadows, and I was watching him do a demo portrait on the Mal Gallery's website page. And when he'd finished it, it was on for a couple of hours. It went on, so it was a proper, not like ours, just sort of splish splash blush, and that's the end of it. It went on for quite some time, and at the end of it, Mel came in. I said, "Yeah, what do you think of that?" She said, "Oh, it's all right." I said, "Do you know what? This is a top portrait, and I thought this is wife he's done, and it looked like cartoon, a cartoony type picture." And I thought, "Oh, not very happy." But one thing he did say, which I thought was handy, was if you want, you can take the picture of my missus, so to speak, and do one of your own, and sort of post it up here and let me have a look at it, sort of thing. So our next target is a picture of this bloke's wife, and when we've done it and we've done a better job than he has, then we're going to post it on the Mal Gallery's page and say, "This is how you do it." There's confidence, isn't there, eh?
A bit wishful thinking.
Well, you haven't seen what he did yet. You don't know.
That's true.
I might be on a, see, doesn't matter. I've got all the ingredients there. When you when you go away, it's always the same with pictures. You go to another part of the painting, do something else, and then come back and you see the other bit with a fresh or different view, different. It's dark all down here, isn't it? It's really dark in there. Do some background in a minute just to tease it, just to try and bring him out. What colour we use for that? God knows. Carol, you're usually the background artist. Doesn't matter here. Matter. I'm just going to get the mop.
Sort of a grey colour.
Yeah, I've got a load of it in my palette. I've just put in some colour there, so I don't know why. I did it with the Queen. The Queen picture had let's make it all damp with the mop. My Queen portrait had figures in. It was an Ascot, wasn't it, or somewhere like that. And it had a load of blurred figures in the background, which I quite like. I quite like that. So you got the subject, the main subject in the foreground, and in the background, you just have a bit of fun, don't you, with the blurriness. You know, it doesn't matter what you do, it's going to look nice. Well, I've got a bit of blue here, so we'll put that in. Don't panic, Captain. It's not going to be all blue. Just while it's wet, excuse me. It's just an undercolour, isn't it? Bear in mind, I've painted the whole paper white at one point, and then I'm going to use some of this rose. Hopefully I won't squish it all over the... Let's go for a bit of interest. Carol, am I going down the wrong road here?
No, that looks good.
Well, you've got to bear in mind that at some point we're going to put some fleshy... I think the blue... I'm thinking of his jacket more than the figure. Thinking that it's... I'll add some blue to the burnt umber as well. And try and... It doesn't make a... It's at this point stage and procedure, it doesn't make a lot of difference because once it's dry, I'll just go over it all anyway. Come on, Cliff, where's your ear? Don't lose your ear. I know I took the mick out of it, but it's not that bad. This area here is going to have to be really, really, really dark. Real dark. Add some blue to that. Beauty of watercolours is that you never know 100% what you're going to get until it all dries back nice anyway. We're going to have to find some black, Chris, for this jacket. Some really dark to show it out, aren't I? This watercolour, where is I going to get that from? Goodness knows, goodness knows. What I'm going to do for a sec was, while I've got that sort of bluey, grey, browny colour here in my palette, I'm just going to go over, I can actually sit down for this, the little bits of teeth. I remember I put those shadows in. I've got I don't know if this is going to work how I want it to or not. I'm just going over my pencil lines and I'll have a look at the picture in a sec. I just want them to be, they're the shadows, if you like, the dark areas in his mouth, and I'm just sort of trying to I want to put them in now so that I don't lose them later. If I just paint it white, then I'll have to put them, redraw them onto what's there. They're not looking too bad actually. Painting in the negative really. Now his face, there's a real broad area of light white there, isn't there? That's really nice. That. I think if I just add some, take a bit of white. You've got to be so careful with this if you're using the white, is to keep your brush clean before you go into another colour. If you do it that way, it needs yellow in it, that doesn't it? See how it changes it straight away into, I was going to say mush, but it's sort of, you've got to be so careful. I think I want it a bit yellower. Doesn't make a lot, doesn't matter, a whole shake of bananas. Helps if you get the right brush. I think my thoughts are, and I think the general consensus is to have fun with colour and paint. Just enjoy the paint. I think I could add some more. I think the burnt umber is working quite well. Just for fun, we'll mix up a flesh tone, which is just and just whack it in. This is the nervy bit, isn't it? where you sort of go, oh no. Bolds a coot, isn't her? He's nearly as bad as me. Skinny. Well, anything can happen in the next few minutes. What I'm tempted to do, and I'm going to do for a bit of fun, because it's watercolour, is to take some of this flesh colour and introduce it as well, which effectively is just adding white, isn't it? Just try and lighten it down. What I was saying earlier was a lot depends on what printer I use. One printer, the image comes out one way, and the other one came out darker. It was most annoying.
You're just showing off now because you've got two printers. I haven't even got one that bloody works.
Yeah. Same here.
I know, it's so frustrating. I bought a tablet on Marketplace the other day, and David's coming around this afternoon to hopefully set it up. So I'm fed up of trying to paint looking at my phone. So I've got a 10-inch tablet.
Really? I sold one on Marketplace the other day. Tablet? Well, no, it was a notebook, a little one.
Yeah, I saw it.
Did you?
Yeah, because I've been looking at them for ages, and I saw your one.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't quite what I wanted.
That's good. Thank God for that. I don't like selling things like that to people I know. Yeah, I'm not joking. I hate doing that.
Yes, never know what come back.
Well, yeah. I mean, the printers are what they are, and they do have a tendency to go AWOL between the period that they leave your possession and they arrive at the new destination. You suddenly get so this is just a bit of light white with fleshy tone. I'm just because this painting is almost monotone. There's not a lot of stuff in it. Yeah, but what I was saying, when there's a, just picking out the light areas, there's an awful, every time I've done it, I spent the lady came to buy it early one morning. Can I come early? I thought maybe she's got a school to go to or something. And it was early. It was sort of before 8. No, was it just after 8 o'clock? Thought this is strange. And every time I do it, you do it and you think, I'm going to get a bloody message later on. This computer, I can't get in. I can't do it. And I'm thinking, oh, it's such a tense period between the moment you sell it and then I've still got, I think it was £90, and I've still got the £90 in my drawer waiting or half expecting a text. I'll get one now, I've said it, won't I? A message saying printer, the computer's not working, in which case I'll cry. Well, I don't know what to do really, because I'm going to take the money out the bank later on. Oh, tomorrow I'm going. Tomorrow. That's the flesh colour that I mixed just now. Just introduce a bit. It's a bit warmer. You can see how it's going. It's good how they develop these figures, though, isn't it? I mean, the thing I do find, and I can't get out of my head, is that they're just people. There ain't nothing special in what you're doing. And as you do it, you think, well, is it looking like him? A little bit. But then after a while, you think, well, I don't know. I don't know if it is or it ain't. And then you show it to someone else and they say, oh, yeah. You think, oh, I must be losing me doodah here. What we need is a bit of light blue. Don't know why. A little bit of light blue and perhaps a little tinge, too much, of raw sienna, our favourite grey colour. Wow. Let's change the brush for a laugh. Go back to the flat one. I've only got the two. And they're both the same. One's flat and one's round. When I say they're both the same, they're the same number 5. Is it a number 5? Don't know, don't say now. I think it might be a number 6. Whatever. It's that colour, that size. And need to put some hair on them or block in something. And it's grey, isn't it? Grey with cerulean blue. I keep not using. See, Carol, we shouldn't have done that blue background because it's going to affect the hair.
Oh.
Told you not to do it. Oh dear. That's okay.
He's looking like Fred Dinage.
Yeah, he does a bit.
But that's it. That's only because it looks like he's got glasses on.
Yeah, and it's the big forehead as well, with the hairline.
Oh, poor old Clint.
Yeah.
Add a bit more blue, I think. Give him a blue rinse. I think it's the light. Don't know. Nearly finished.
That's a kiss of death.
Yeah. How many times have I said that?
Precisely.
I think I'm stuck with the background now because it's soaking wet and I won't be able to do much with it until everything's dried back. Fred Dinage? I can't see no blimmin' Fred Dinage. Is he still going?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, isn't it?
Yeah, he is. I'm ready.
Yeah, it's sort of a how. How do you do this? How do you do these paintings, Dave? I don't know. Could do with him
Go
now.
back a bit.
Used to watch that, didn't we?
Yeah, I still love it.
It's beyond sort of tea time, wasn't it? After school sort of thing. When the kids were coming home. Or was I that age then? I don't know. I can't remember. Was it when I was coming home from school, or when my kids was coming home from school? I don't know.
You weren't, Smith.
What was it called?
How?
How?
It used to be like a program, wasn't it? And it,
Yeah, and he goes, how? Puts his hand.
oh, yeah, they were all sat round round a table, and it'd be like, how does so and so? It was like facts, wasn't it? Fact
It was
program.
very, very informative, educational. That's the word.
They're all blue. They're all Blue Peter for kids. So all TV programs are Blue Peter, aren't they? I've got this thing about that. You watch. What's it? The One Show. What the hell's that about? If that ain't Blue Peter for adults at tea time, I don't know what is. I used to watch it like everyone else. You get sucked in. You think, oh, I'm watching it. And after a while, you suddenly, if you think about it rationally, you think, this is stupid. This is not, nothing's happening. What do I need to know? What do I don't know. Sometimes they have a few guests on, which is interesting, I suppose. Come on, Fred. You're a bit dark. You're
Talking about Fred with his how thing, the Indian how he used to do, didn't he?
yeah.
The hello. I heard it. I remember, no joke, when I was a kid. You might have heard it yourself. And this guy goes to the American Indians reservation. And there's this elder Indian who's supposed to have the most incredible memory. He can remember anything about everything. And guy sort of goes off to see him, and he said to this old Indian, he said, what did I have for breakfast this morning? He said, well, I don't know, eggs. And he said, yeah. Oh, that's clever, you knew that. Anyway, several years later, he took his grandson to go and to meet this Indian. So he went up to him, and being a bit more clever, he put his hand up and he said, how? And the Indian scratched his chin and said, scrambled. Sorry. I don't tell jokes very well. You always remember that one.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm sorry. I was sorry about that. I was concentrating.
Sorry, you carry on concentrating. That's what we're here for, really, not just my grumpiness.
No,
How reminded me of it after all those years.
quite frankly, I can't even remember what you just said.
Well, that's on the phone.
Well, at least I'm honest. I genuinely.
That's all right. You're concentrating. Carry on. Carry on up the Khyber.
Does have a sort of a thing around there. But
You've done a really good forehead again, like you did with Cassius Clay. Got that lovely rounded.
Yeah,
sort of
I'm conscious of that.
Yeah,
That's why
really good.
it's brushstroke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. The length of the. What I've done as well is I've mixed up the grey that I used for the hair. I've sort of introduced it into the picture as well. He's got so many lines, it's ridiculous. We need to get the rigger out for this. Oh, come on, Clint.
It's all that time he spent in the sun on horseback. Those lines.
I ordered oh yeah, I just remember it just came just now. I ordered had to order a new vacuum cleaner flex. James, this is the second one for the SIBO. James was I was shouting up at me from downstairs. He said, "Have you got any electric tape?" I said, "What for?" And he said, come down and have a look. I can't. And I go down there, and the Hoover Flex has got there's bare wire coming out of one bit. I don't know if it's gone round the brushes or whatever at some point. And I thought, oh my God. Yeah, it just needs a bit of tape on it. And I'm thinking, bit of tape on it? So I had to order a new one. I'm a bit annoyed, with Mel about that.
I got a SIBO, as you know, on your recommendation, which is fine. But it was a refurbished one. And when you push it, it's all right. When you pull it back, the whole handle comes out. If you don't, it won't stay in. Do you know what I mean? The whole long stick, the handle, it just comes out.
Oh,
it doesn't stay in. So I don't know. I might just put a bit of double-sided tape or something in around it and see if I can wedge it in. It's very annoying.
Just by putting those dark bits in the eye there, is suddenly not Fred Dinage.
No.
Do you notice that?
Yeah, definitely.
When you were telling your joke, I was putting a little bit in there, and I thought, do you know what?
No.
Just those two bits turned him totally around from being Fred Dinage.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, oh, I don't want to be Fred Dinage. So it was a bit of blue and a bit of burnt sienna. Well, it's the trouble with tubes. You put your brush in it and you get more than you've bargained for. But damn it, I wanted it to be a nice. Well, it is a grey now, but I'm going to use. Don't know why it's turning out this way. It certainly wasn't my plan initially to use a sort of a dark black grey colour, but hey ho, that's what's happened, and I'm happy about it. Quite frank with you. And then Joyce told me his eyes are grey, so I'm in vogue now. Once we get some, and just add a few dark bits here and there. Yeah. Only problem with watercolour, it does stay extremely wet for a long period of time. I'm not worried about this ear because that's got to come out of it. We need to paint that in the negative. Yeah, I was reading up about acrylics, Chrissy, because where I bought that oil paint, the white for Doodah, I was thinking, I don't know how, it just came up in the sort of conversation on Google, and I started. And acrylics, I was reading up about it. Acrylic, they dry by evaporation, and I've said to you in the past when I've sorry, I'm just putting a bit in there. When I've used acrylics and I've done a beautiful sky, it's white under there. I've done a really beautiful sky, and then I come back in the morning, and where it's like a lovely blue sky, it's got all pinholes in it where you can see the canvas coming through. And the reason for that is, well, it's acrylics dry with evaporation. So the binder in acrylic, you've got pigment, and the binder is water, obviously. Well, it is, which over time dries. And so if you had, say you had a layer of paint, let me see, if you had a layer of paint, the thickness of that brush, the hairs on the brush, well, as it dries, that brush is going, the thickness of that brush is going to get, it's going to lower, it's going to be thinner, because the water that's in the paint has dried away. So the actual thickness of your paint decreases. And so that's where all those little pinholes are coming from, because the paint is drying by, you know, absorbing, what do you call it, evaporation, causing it to do that. So confirm, see if I can muck his forehead up.
Oh, don't.
Oh, well, gotta have, I'll leave it for now. Well, it just needs to be lighter. But the beauty, as I was saying earlier, with the, because we've got, just needs a bit straighter there. Because we've got white involved, when it dry, Roger Deller, who's my mentor, well, who I follow on this, he says leave it for, 36 hours, the painting, because then it dries, and then you can do what I was just showing you earlier on with Cassius, was to, you can lift and smooth and blend all these colors in even more than they are at the moment. And little areas like this where I've got these worry lines, you can sort of tease them in and out. It's really great. He says in his sort of dialogue that it's really, that it's the best part of the picture comes not now, but in, a few hours time, when you're doing that. You've got so many different ways of, needs to go a bit, I need some fleshy white, hang on. Yeah, it's, and he's right, it's such a nice thing to do, just sort of teasing the paint, and when it's dry like that, and you sort of blend it and muck about with it and have all kinds of, the effects you get are quite amazing. I suppose it's a bit akin to sort of watercolor oil painting, really, but, well, maybe. I think I've not done what I normally do with these. Once you put a little blob of white on an eye, it changes it completely. I haven't done it today, but I normally paint the eyes green, a light green first. This is just a thing that I've grown into. Just a pale green. It's a good starting point, because whatever colour the eyes is after that, you can achieve it using the other colours. That's really, do you know what? I'm going to go back onto the background for a minute, especially over this side. See what we can come up with. Deep intake a breath. And then I'm going to come back and do some more on his teeth. Who is that? You can hear someone saying, who's that then, Dave? Clint Eastwood. Oh yeah. I see. Yeah, I can see. I've got to think about this. because I'm confused as a duck paddling upstream. What we're going to do is going to look in my little box and find whatever colour that is. No, not that. Anything but that. It's don't know what. I'm going to put some green in there in my palette for a minute. Don't know what. I'm going to add that into the background because fortune favours the brave. No, I might not have a fortune, but I am brave. So there's the green. Don't. It's a bright green. Well, yeah, but it's all right. Don't panic. I'm not panicking. I'm just thinking that was a mistake. Or am I? No, I'm not. I'm quite happy. I'm so pleased that I put a layer of white on the paper first, because it will definitely protect the paper, stop it lifting a bit when you're doing these heady background bits. I'm only doing it on to see if it'll tease the little rascal out a bit, because it's complementary to the flesh colour. So I think that's why you see a lot of the old masters and that they have a dark greeny tint in the background. And thinking about it, it makes sense because the complementary colour to skin tone, which is a reddy colour, is green, isn't it? So it'll make it come out a bit. There you go. Just go back in there. Oh, don't forget me ear. He cut his ear off. I did that on one of the early pictures, remember? Yeah. Fred, you're back. Oh, I love this. Now I'm going to put a real dollop of blue on. It's funny, isn't it? The things around the painting affect the view of the painting, the subject. Getting the jacket, the shirt affect quite profoundly, in my opinion. Joseph of Many Colours shirt. Amazing, isn't it? How that's developed over such a short period of time. Well, I think it is. Yeah. I'm gonna add a bit of colour onto the tie for a minute. Oh, do you know what? I've used just those 3 brushes all the way through now. Made my day, that has. But I'm quite. I think let's put a line there. We haven't got the rigger out yet to add some real character to it. Burnt umber. Come on, burnt umber. Do your stuff. Add some blue to me. Yes, I will. There you go. You might need a bigger brush than I'm using. But I'm not gonna being watercolour, it will blend. Yeah, so getting back to what I was saying about acrylics, Chrissy, if the acid test or A test if you want to contrast and compare, is if you take a sample of acrylic paint, just put it on your brush and drag it down, say just a big splodge, big what do you call it, a graded tone of it, let it dry. When it something like that,
Yeah.
and then put the paint straight out the tube next to it, they're different colours because it dries flat. The acrylic dries flat. If that was an oil, they'd be exactly the same. So that's why oils have a special. I'm not going there. Don't get me wrong. There's no way I'm painting. I haven't got 3 days to wait. Anyway, I've sold all my oils. I'm going to drop them off tomorrow to Val. I put them on Dorset Artists website. Give them first opportunity of them. See the way that one's dried, that side. That's what I said, wasn't it? It's dried really nice. Better than this one. So I need to put some burnt umber on here. But that's the beauty of watercolours, isn't it? But I can sense where I'm stroking it gently that the layer of white that I've put on the paper initially is allowing me to blend it a bit. Let's get the rigger out, have a look, see what we've got. Maybe not. Hang on. I'm going back in, girls. Thinking about it. Yeah. Ooh. That was really nasty. There was I wanted just a bit of plain white, maybe, but there was a little bit of grey on the brush. So just damp it off on my bit of tissue. Yeah, spoiled that now. Well, changed it. I think it's spoiling it. So. Well, we haven't put his lips in yet, and I haven't done the teeth either. A few extra lines, and the see if I can get a cleaner brush. 2 secs. Hence the reason in the palette I left 2 squares to put white in, so that if one gets tainted, you still got the other one to play with. Not stupid me, mate, I tell you. There's no flies on our Dave when he gets. I think if there is a lesson to be learned from doing these things, it's to look for shapes. That sounds, it's a pretty easy thing to say, but look for shapes that relate to colour. So at the moment, I'm just trying to pick out highlights that are on there. His chin is going to, bear in mind it's watercolour, that's going to dry back. So I'm not too fussed about that. And the white will, maybe not. I think it needs to dry back. This channel here goes across and down. So I need maybe it's time for me rigger. Gosh. Could hear a bloody pin drop. It's that time, isn't it? That sort of, just need to get a really nice dark fleshy tone. I bought all these fresh tones, I haven't used any of them. what a barn pot. Well, I am. I'm quite impressed with the June colour. You know, when you're doing our beach scenes, I'm up there now. I've got June, which is like it's just like sand, isn't it? So I'm really chuffed with that. Put a few extra divots there in the bottom. I mean, it's that moment or that part of the picture now where everything's subjective, isn't it? You sort of do a bit, come away, look at it again, think about it, get the rigger out, add some, just find some more darks. Might have to spray this in a minute. There's a lot of to be said that method that I was talking about the other day, where the lady was, I think she was painting her husband or a partner, and she'd look at him, stand back, look at him, then go to the picture and add something, and just she carried on doing that for ages, and gradually built the picture up. Definitely, in a way, it's what I'm doing now. I'm just looking at bits. Oh, maybe it's just that bit there. Need to lighten it up. Yeah, and darken that area there. So if I get some nice dark, add some blue, burnt sienna, blue, more blue. God, blimey. Maybe a hint of red. Maybe that'll make it go really dark. Oh, still more blue. Trying to get a really dark colour here so that I can go across here.
We're all holding our breath with you.
Oh dear.
Goes in a bit more there, that's why. That's better. Yeah, I was doing that the other day too. I was watching, it was an actual live demo. And I remember saying, oh, can I breathe again now? Because he was doing exactly what I'm doing now, sort of thing. And I was thinking, this is going to go pear-shaped. But it doesn't matter, because we can fix it, can't we? We got the doodah. Yeah, his face comes in a bit over there, doesn't it? So I'm just adding a bit more to the background. It'd be all right. We can tidy that up in a sec. And being watercolour, it'll allow me to do some more work on it. Yeah, I've got to let that dry a bit, and then I'll put a little bit of extra in there. I'm still doing the old thing. I'm chucking my brush in the bucket, and it's old habits die hard, because I won't leave them in there, because I keep thinking they're going to ruin them. When you put so what I want to do is I want a nice bit of white on there and there, just for the time being, and then blend it back in with some fleshy tone later. Everyone's happy now. Apart from, I think I might try a bit of rigger work on that one. Lovely. And try and bring it back out. But this, try and find some, definitely got some highlights in his hair, Carol. Definitely got a few. Playing with colours, the best part of this. I won't put too much up there because I'm definitely gonna, I'm just going to do it to highlight the fact that it's a good place to do it. Because I'll at some point I'll have another go at the, well, a little bit of a, it's just a rigger and some white, a little bit of a go with the background again. Now I've done that, this here to bring this out, which has almost worked. Just need to drag that down. Needs to dry, doesn't it? That's the problem. If it was an oil, it wouldn't matter because you could put a big blob of paint on it like that. And that's it, job done. Just, yeah, that'll be okay when I put some fleshy tone on it. If I've got any left. Let's try a bit of that. For convenience, it's the flesh colour from, oops, still dry, it's still wet, it's a bit damp. Get a blob of it then. Yeah, I will. Hang on. Stick a... Good old Clint. I told you that ear was going to be a problem, didn't I? Right from the side. Well, it's not a problem because it just needs, the paint just needs to dry back a bit. Or what you can do is mix up some stronger flesh tone because that's what's holding me back. Bit of yellow, bit of rose. Voila. What's wrong with that? Lovely bit of flesh. Ooh. Oh dear, you're such a twerp. Yeah, but I have to do it now because in a minute when everybody's gone to lunch, you can see it'll bring it back, even though I put all that white on it. So I'm a bit loath to put much more on it actually. I want to let it settle and come back. And there's a few areas that I think I could lift a bit of paint off. There's one, and a little bit down here. Don't have to be too pedantic. But when it's dry, like I said earlier, we can, if you're not happy, we can lift it off with the brush. And if your paper is delicate, come on, Clint, not Cliff. Cliff. It's me, Cliff. I've come home. And you can just lighten a few bits off. That was a bit dark, wasn't it? But you can see it will develop over time. It's not too bad. I'm not too fussed about. I'm not too upset. The other thing I was going to do, I've sat down now on my laurels, on my bottom. Was just add a bit of flesh. What colour are lips? Flesh. They're a fleshy colour, aren't they? So, and the inside is as well. It's just a darker variation of the theme. And he does have a lip. Ah! not that much. Sometimes it's less is more. But that's okay. We can always add some. It's a bit more. I think I could do, if I'm true to my picture. Hang on. I've got a little bit of that rose colour over here. Look at that. A little bit of that rose. Do you see that? It's fierce, isn't it?
It's very intense.
Oh, talking of roses, Chris, I
Yeah.
took my cuttings have started to grow.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, I am on. Well, they're different to what they were when I put them in the pot in the greenhouse. I've just left them there for quite a while. Yeah, how about that? I'm well impressed with that.
Very good.
That's because they're not easy to do apparently.
No,
You know.
definitely hitting me.
Yeah, and it's all right. I'm just thinking of Cliff's nose. Is Cliff today? Forever Cliff.
Well, he's been Fred and Cliff, Clint.
Yeah, hasn't he? Bit of Fred, good old Fred Doinage. I think you're going to have to make some decisions of your own when you come to paint it, because there is no, well, there are rights and sort of rights and wrongs, but blowed if I can tell you what they are. I think I really love doing these portraits, I've got to admit.
Good.
I like them. They're better at this stage in procedures than they are at the start, because you've moved on, haven't you? And you've constructed something out of nothing, and you've got a basis to work with. But yeah, I quite like this. There is no, I've got two brushes now, rigor and the other one, rigor and mortise. No, that's fine. I think I seem to have spotted. I think I'm going to change my glasses next time I do some painting. Use my reading ones, because I reckon I can see better in them for this sort of detail work. Well, that's not too bad. I want to add a little bit of blue to this purple. Blue, I said. Yeah, I know. What happened there? Blue to this rose. Add a bit of there. And the same for the shirt, because it isn't white. It's got blue. Ooh, I wanted blue. I've been struggling with this brush all morning to give me blue. Oh well. Lift it off a bit. So I think the thing I did earlier by putting a little layer of white over the whole paper, let it dry the day before, I did it yesterday, definitely helps a little bit. What I wanted was a bit more blue. Try it on there. I'm doing that. I'm putting it there deliberately because I want to tease off that sort of browny feel there. And you can imagine like someone coming along at the show and saying, "Here, who does your shirts? Who irons your shirts?" God, blimey heck, what a state! Hang on, that goes right across, doesn't it? Anyway, get the message, get the drift. We can have a play with his shirt. the colour, isn't it? I'll need it really blue. Blue into the brown makes black, but when you've got white around, it goes off colour. Oh. Forever Cliff now. Cliff Eastwood. Yeah, he's in the films. He was in that film, wasn't he? Play Misty for me. Well, he was as well. Well, that's good memory. Drag that up. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to add a bit of blue to it for now. And there's a shadow area.
Rawhide.
He wasn't in. Yeah, he was Miss somebody Oates, wasn't it, or something? I don't know. Pearly Yates or something. I don't know. Yates Oates. Captain Oates was the one that went for a walk. No, it wasn't him. Don't get that around. Yeah, more blue on the jacket. Bit of there. And the teeth. Well, any old bit of white you got floating around. Milky white. Add a bit of flesh to it. Flesh and white. Oh, not that. That's got grey in it.
What grey tea?
No. Very Victorian. I've really enjoyed this. I'm going to do lots more of these. Yeah, I just add using a bit of fleshy white on the teeth there. Try and mix. I didn't think I'd ever hear myself saying this. I think I'm going to have to try my other glasses. Use my reading glasses on it. Because it's really fine, isn't it? What I want. I want to leave the lines that I put in right from the word go, my pencil lines, I want to leave them there, but just a hint of them, make them very fine. That's not too bad, because he has got, there's a little bit of yellow in them, so you can add a little bit of flesh. That's why I was on about the flesh, really, because it's got a sort of a yellowy, fleshy tint to them. But it has to be very, very watery, almost just water, and just plop it in a few bits, see how it goes. But I think the thing that I did earlier by putting the grey, dark colour on the teeth, on the shadows of the teeth, has helped me out a lot, especially now because I'm just trying to edge them back in. Yeah, I quite like that. I was worried about those, thinking they're gonna really drag me back. There's a line down here of white highlight. Trouble is the paint's not as liquid as I want it to be. I've got secret weapon, Terry's oil colour. No, don't do it. But you can see that what I've tried to, by adding, has that got white on it? I think so. By adding colour here, a little white there, it emphasises the cheekbones, which are quite high. So little things like that. And his eyes, I got a message. The eyes, if you start off dark and you want to lift them, just clean water and lift them off, and it works quite well.
Yeah.
But I'm
going to have to go now. All right, sorry. I'll see you next week.
Bye, Carol. Yeah.
Okay,
bye.
then. Bye. Bye.
Bye, Carol.
Bye.
Bye.
She's had enough. She can't stand, can't take it. No.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to go as well.
Am I going over my time?
No
two.
early delivery.
Yeah,
They've come early today.
We've got one.
I'll see. Sorry. See you next time.
Yeah, okay, bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
It's all right. Leave me with the baby. I don't care. No, actually, I'm at the stage where I'm thinking, is there a lot more I want to do at this stage, at this moment in time? Because it's sort of, I don't want to.
I like the hair.
Yeah, good.
Lovely, real salt and pepper.
Once you get the rigger involved with a smaller brush, then you can start putting in a few extra details and light things up and all this sort of thing. You know, I think I see what I've done there. That could come out a bit more. Yeah, and once it's dried back, I'll tidy that up. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with this. I was apprehensive as usual.
No, that's good.
Well, it's a start, isn't it? It's not. I mean, how many portraits have we done now? 3?
Oh, I
I
don't know.
think
Yeah,
I think it's 3.
yeah. There's the Queen, Leonard Cohen,
George.
Cassius,
Four.
George.
We did
Yeah.
George.
4.
And
Yeah,
Cassie's face.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I mean,
You
there's.
should be experts now.
Oh,
Should.
I don't know about that.
Would you feel? Hmm.
The thing about it is, you only got to sort of put one little thing in, and it changes the whole shooting match. You know, as I'm thinking at the moment, I'm looking at the bridge of his nose, thinking it's too far out. It needs to come in a bit. So, but when it's dry, then I can blend all that away and or in, whichever I decide to do, to make it, you know, to narrow it in. So, but like I say, you only got to touch one, just lightly lift one bit off, and yeah, that's a bit better. It's not perfect, but
The nose is definitely going to give us problems again.
this what?
The nose. I hate noses. I think they're worse than eyes or mouths.
They're definitely an acquired taste, aren't they?
A real challenge.
To get them, but as I say, the thing to do, or the thing to try to do, as far as I'm concerned, is to don't look at shapes. Look for, like there. I'm thinking, I don't like that angle of that, so I'll just lift it off a bit. So that, you know, when that colour's dried, I can just lift a bit of it off, just using my tissue in my hand. Yeah, well done. I'm quite chuffed with that. I always say that, but I quite am. And
I definitely fancy having a go at the other one now.
I'll send you the picture.
I think I've got it somewhere.
Oh,
But yeah.
I'll email it.
Yeah. Okay.
I did cross my mind this morning. I thought or last night, I thought, shall I email both and give you the choice? The other one I thought was too easy.
Oh, well.
No, I'm only joking. It was
I always think of Clint Eastwood with a cowboy hat on. That's what it is.
It just seemed too predictable for me. That's what, yeah, exactly. That's what I think that as well. So, but I'm thinking, wouldn't it be? It's more of a challenge to paint him old,
Yes.
and make it stick. In my mind, it is. Just trying to find a few darks where the mouth is, warm him up. And he's got that bit of the chin there, needs to just come off a bit. That's the beauty of this. You can just sort of tease it off. That was all dark a second ago, and now I can just
Do
blend.
that on my face. Just brush.
Yeah, brush away the worry, brush the lines. But eventually, and there's a little bit. Of grey, bluey colour popping along here. Bit of morning tash, I think. Something like that. Maybe soften that off. Wrong colour. It's the rigger. It had more paint on it than I thought it did. But that's okay. We can just lift it off. I've got your tissue and just do that. Just brush past the tissue. Yeah, well, we can play with that at some point.
I'm decorating at the moment. I'm doing my bedroom. It's got fitted wardrobes all one wall, and they're just plain white melamine, and the furniture is all pine, and it was all beige and pine and white. And now, looking at your lovely rosy colour, I've started doing the walls in a real deep dusky pink. And I'm looking at, and it's looking really nice so far. And I'm looking at these plain wardrobes, and I'm looking at my quilt, which has got lovely sort of old-fashioned sort of roses and, you know, a real cottagey garden. And I'm thinking, am I brave enough to get my acrylics out and
paint on your wall?
Paint a mural all across my wardrobe, roses and flowers.
Oh right,
right across the wall, just like a sweep of flowers going across.
Yeah.
Why don't you reprise that thing that we did last week?
That's what gave me the idea. Doing these I love wildflowers anyway, but this plain white wall just looks of wardrobe, and it was just, it's been there for donkey's years. It was just a bog standard white melamine board that Brian built them all out of. And they've all got cupboards on the top, but it's just like a flat wall, really.
Yeah.
So I think that's my house. I can do what I like.
Right.
And nobody else is likely to see my bedroom. Let's face it.
As long as it doesn't, long as it doesn't fall down, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
I think
I'm going to do that. I should think acrylic paint would just go onto melamine, wouldn't it, Dave? I'll practice on the inside of one of the doors first.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
Might be a good idea to just.
Yeah. Because once it's done, it's only just a soft cloth to wipe them down occasionally.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. There you go. So that's
lovely. That's really done it. That bit of dark there has made such a difference.
Yeah, that's going to push. I'm going to do the whole lot like that once it's dry. But you can if I touch the paper, can you see it? It's moving about a quarter of an inch.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, good old Cliff. Clint.
Good
old Clint.
He's looking more like Clint now.
Yeah. Well, I like it, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I think when it's dry and I'll clean my palette out and get some fresh little bits of white on, I think I've cracked it there.
Yeah.
Very good.
Really good. Yeah. Amazing.
I'm getting the hang of this portrait. It's amazing. What I find is incredible is how you start off with nothing.
Yeah.
And that first thing helps a bit. You know, I don't care. Put some burnt sienna on the paper quick.
Yeah.
And then from that point onwards, once you've used the burnt umber to outline the shapes that you're seeing, I mean, I use the grid, but to draw the pencils first, but it's the same thing as doing it with a brush, and then just sort of look at the shape. Yeah, there's dark there. Put a dark there. Once you do those shadowed, the dark bits, the face just turns up. I mean, ta-da!
That's
Yeah,
really good.
I could
Yeah.
do some more
I'm
work
not-
on it.
Sorry, on the link that you sent with the picture and the grid, I couldn't get the grid to open.
No, I couldn't either.
Oh, good. I'm glad it wasn't just me again.
Yeah, no, I could
It's
only print the one picture.
Oh wow,
Well, I
that looks
can't.
totally different on the screen. Oh, I love that. Oh,
When you send the cowboy one to me, can you put a grid on it, please? And I'll see if I can open it. But can you do it in Word? Because I think the other one, it was on something different, and I couldn't open it.
Yeah, don't panic. I'll sort it out.
Yeah, the grid on this one.
Yeah,
Like Pauline's just said, we couldn't open it.
yeah.
some reason.
I'll sort some out. I'll send a few. I'll send another email with the images on.
Yeah, I might not do the cowboy one, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. I'm
rather
really chuffed with that
look
one. It
Yeah,
looks really
no,
good on
it
the.
was good.
It
Yeah.
looks good on the screen. But the
Huh?
thing is, when it dries, like tomorrow or whatever, and then just using a damp brush and smoothing everything down,
Yeah.
and some
Yeah,
clean
yeah.
white to bring out a few of the extra highlights.
Yeah,
Wow.
no, it's really good.
Yeah.
Chuffed.
I'm enjoying the portraits. Did you ever watch that program on the telly, Portrait Artist of the Year? I think it was on Sky Arts.
I've watched a couple of them, and some of them don't even look like the person, do they?
Oh no, some of them are so abstract, aren't they?
Abstract, yeah, I know.
Yeah, but the ones that, some of them are brilliant.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
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 Oh well, I'm
Yeah.
going to get.
See you all next week.
Indeed. Have a good week.
Yeah, and you take care.
I'm going for some.
Some
Hang on a
lunch.
minute. Hang on a minute. Tuesday. What's happening next Tuesday? Oh, it's Tony's funeral, but that's not until 2 o'clock. I'll be doing the flowers. Yeah, hopefully I'll make it next week, but if not, that's why.
All right. Okay.
I'll have to watch the recording.
Right.
I might, but I'm doing the family flowers for the funeral,
Right.
so
Right.
I might not
Might
be
not have time.
available.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, have a good week, everybody.
Yes, and you. Take care.
Bye. Thanks,
Bye.
Dave.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Dave.
Good work.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, and you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.